Did you know during your lifetime Guru Baba, Sri Sri Anandamurti? And what was your relationship with Baba? I guess those are two people, Guru Baba and Sri Sri Anandamurti. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing.
It's okay. Yes. Yes. To Guru Baba, yes. There are many teachers during my time who are instructing on the path toward self.
Mm. Okay. Did you know Sri Sri Anandamurti?
Okay. No, it does not.
What was your relationship with Guru Baba? Oh,
Does not look like
go to the local pub.
No, it doesn't look like a close relationship. It looks, I'm seeing a meeting. They met and knew each other, both teachers. That does not look like, he doesn't have a ton of friends, really.
Oh,
yeah.
I would have been your friend. Was there friction between the two of you? Or was it just a matter of fact?
Many did not prefer my personality.
Okay.
It looks, he has
How would you describe your personality?
Oh, sorry. I just heard the word difficult.
Okay. Well, were you arrogant? Were you argumentative? Were you, I mean, can you throw some adjectives out here?
There's fits of explosive anger. I see him kind of like losing it.
Okay.
Some arrogance, argumentative, and I'm laughing. He says, "My way or the highway."
Okay. What was your reaction as soon as your spirit left your body at the time of death?
Thank God.
Is that what it? Oh my God. Okay. Were you surprised? Was there anything that shocked you?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Go ahead.
He had intentions to, he really, I mean, I don't know, more than anybody I've ever met, he does not take life very seriously.
That's awesome.
At all, like at all. And he shows me when he knew he was going to die for not very long, but just a little bit before he died.
Okay.
You dive into death. As you dive into the experience of life, you dive into death.
Yeah.
Do not resist what arises in each moment of consciousness,
including death.
Oh.
Can you describe your life, how your life is now as a spirit?
Wonderful.
Not bad. Do you have any calling, or do you do anything over there?
Yes.
And a lazy boy and watch the football game. What do you do?
So as you said that, I could see the chairs going up, like you know how you pull.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a lazy boy, but Erik and Osho were pulling up the chairs and putting up their legs as a joke. Let's see, what is he up to? I work with many. So there's groups, Osho groups throughout the world.
Oh, okay.
And many meditation groups. He teaches a practice. He assists people in certain practices of meditation that he's sort of known or famous for. He shows me hopping on one, he's doing it now, hopping on one foot. And then his meditations are interesting. You kind of hop, you dance, you do all these things.
Movement, move the body.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get really quiet and you just sit. That's for a while. And then you kind of go through these patterns.
Interesting.
Okay, stop hopping. Okay, I got it. So now what he does is, now Erik's hopping.
Oh, of course.
Okay. What they do is he goes and helps these groups with meditation, and understanding, and he will kind of be a guide and a teacher in these groups.
Oh, good. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What
he helps as a guide on the spiritual path.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you wish you have would have spent more time on while you were alive?
Nothing,
Okay. What do you wish people understood about you?
nothing,
I knew it. Did you have any regrets on
no
your life?
regret.
Okay.
And notice how liberating no regret.
Oh, it feels so
Mm.
good.
Because when you live and let each live each moment fully and let each moment die, there is nothing to regret.
Right. Oh, I
Mhm.
love that. It's just beautiful. The beauty in the idea of the flow. I like it. You were promoting free love and euthanasia. What are your thoughts now about free love and suicide from the spiritual perspective?
It does this a lot. Um, Notice the attachment to the idea of love,
Mm.
free love. What does that mean? All love is free because we are love.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, and he had no, and still has no problems with any expression of
Love.
love, divinity, sexuality. As far as I can actually, he does see his viewpoints, because he just really was always didn't take anything seriously and was always trying to show the absurdity of it all.
Yeah.
So, but now he has a little bit of a different perspective on suicide.
Okay. Tell me your perspective.
Not ideal.
Right. Because what Erik just said, and maybe he learned this from you, I don't know, or maybe you learned it from him, but that, the human experience is just so precious. And
It is a gift. It
yeah,
is a gift.
gift. And it is hard at times, but sometimes suicide is just a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And sometimes, people pass on from suicide and then they realize, oh, holy crap. I was to stick around so I could father the girl that was going to cure diabetes or something like that. And you realize all the losses that that lost opportunity, all the teaching moments.
He agrees. Indeed.
Okay. Plus it doesn't solve your problems. I mean, you still feel
No,
all
because
the
he shows
pain.
me again, he shows me in the never-ending cycle of his existence, suicide is simply a temporary solution. You kind of, he's showing me, you come back with some of the same problems.
Right. That's right. It doesn't solve anything. What do people have correct on you? I guess the consensus. What is the correct consensus on you? About you?
To answer this question, he shows me his books, his discourses, he calls them, and the purity and truth in his teachings. It does appear that those were channeled divine texts.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
A lot of these are talks. He shows me talking.
Okay.
But he is a master of presence, I will call him, and has helped me, just even today being like, am I present? That kind of feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And interesting. And so when I spoke from the observance of what was arising as pure consciousness. My teachings are pure and true.
Oh, good. Now, many have speculated over different causes of your death. Was it again assisted suicide or was it natural death?
There does look like the poisoning.
Oh, it took its toll eventually?
It took its toll. It does look like, no, I don't think suicide, but it looks natural. No, it looks natural.
Okay.
He did try.
Okay.
He did, but that's not how he died. It appears of a natural death. I'm seeing something with a heart malfunction or
so
something.
maybe the poison could have weakened your heart or just, made.
Yes.
Okay. As a spirit, what is your opinion now about creation, God, and our purpose as humanity?
We ourselves are creation. A thought is a creation. You are creation.
Yeah.
God. And he still feels this way. You take the word God. Now, I'm not saying this. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Take
no.
the word God, and he shows me putting it in the trash bin.
Right.
So I know that he's okay with it being triggering for some people.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a word. How it's defined. It's
Observe
yeah.
the idea of freedom in consciousness.
Oh, yeah.
Consciousness is moving. Consciousness is aware. We are consciousness. There is nothing outside of consciousness.
Including
That is
God.
the notion
There's no
of God.
exterior God here. And
Yeah.
when you dispense of that, it does feel very freeing to know that you are you are divine. We
Mhm.
are all in part of source, which is a self-aware sentient energy, basically. Is that what you're kind of thinking?
Yes,
Okay.
indeed. He shows me different he's flashing all these different faces and all these different people, and they're just expressions. Okay, we don't understand. We forget temporarily, but we're expressions of pure consciousness.
Does this go along with Neil Donald Walsh's conversations with God? That God is this basically source, and we are little tendrils that is sent out.
We are not little. We are not little.
Big, some bigger than others, but that facets of source we are all in whole and part to experience polarity, so we can the polar opposites of various facets of love, so we can really truly understand the concept of love and that we are love. Like conversations with
He
God.
went like this, yes, and he went like this. He stamped your card, bingo.
Okay. Yay. Do I get a star sticker?
Mhm.
All right. Here's a quote. You shall know them by their fruit. This sounds familiar. Did this statement apply to you incarnate? If so, why? I don't understand that really good. Maybe you do.
Fruit represents the flowering of consciousness.
Oh.
Mhm. And so, yes, I am a representation of the flowering consciousness, as are you. He's speaking to the person that wrote that question. It looks like a man who wrote that question.
Okay. Awesome. Will you reincarnate again, and why? Don't do it. I'm kidding. Or not.
I have no need to incarnate at this time.
Okay. What can you describe another life that most influenced your one is Osho?
Yes. This is interesting. So he does show me being a woman in where are you? Sorry, Southeast Asia, and he's in great poverty.
Mm.
And so it's funny because he does not even take wealth seriously. He doesn't care. And so even the Rolls Royces are just kind of like, we don't really care, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't take any of it that seriously, but he wanted to show that the experience of wealth, you could be enlightened and be in wealth, just as if you could be enlightened and be in poverty.
Okay.
Mhm.
So how did you grow up, and how did you get your money? Was the money from your followers mostly? Did you grow up in a poor,
yeah, it looks like he's showing me, he had basic necessities, that's what I'm hearing, but I don't think there's nothing lavish about his upbringing.
Okay.
Simple.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing is the material wealth came from, he had, I didn't really know this about him, but he had tons of followers, tons and tons, and they were making money through the ashram, looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how are your parents?
My mother is very kind.
Oh, good.
My father strict, but a good man.
And fair, strict, but fair.
Strict but fair. Mhm.
All right. So did you wake up one day at the age of 14 and say, I want to be a guru? I mean, how did that happen? I mean, I was like, I always wanted to be a doctor or some sort of healer.
As you are.
Yeah.
He's observed your work.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna ask about that.
So he shows me like actually coming into the world rather awake,
Okay.
as a child having more, and really always there's a troublemaker aspect. I can see him.
Erik and you ought to get along.
They honestly, they get along just fine.
I know.
But this troublemaker aspect, but what happens is he comes into a place of knowing, self-knowing,
Okay.
what some will call enlightenment,
Mhm.
enlightenment at age 20, 21.
Okay.
He shows me just, it's really curious, but he's just sitting one day outside and just has this really like profound awakening.
Oh, wow. Maybe your Kundalini awakened. I don't know.
Yes,
yep.
yes, my Kundalini.
Okay. Do you have any final messages for humanity in these times of the pandemic and the extreme divisiveness?
He just goes like this about this pandemic. He wants people to throw this idea of COVID, or not COVID, the fear of COVID, and put it in the trash. Put it in the
right
trash.
with God. Oh my God, God is going to catch COVID in that trash can.
You stay in silence, stay in peace, observe that which the silence within, that which arises naturally, spontaneously from this silence. You will know consciousness. You will know that which you call God.
Wow.
So he does not spend his time thinking about COVID.
Okay. All right, so you've met Erik, obviously. How long ago did y'all meet? Just kind of right before this?
He's laughing. He has a hard time answering questions about time.
Oh yeah, well, of course. Well, what do you think about Erik and channeling Erik?
I approve of your message and teachings and your work as a healer.
Any advice to make it better?
Pay attention to the nudges within as they arise.
Okay.
Like becoming more, I think he's giving you a compliment.
I want critiques. I want to get better.
I cannot comment on your work as a healer, but I observe the work you're doing and it brings me great joy, because he shows me you are assisting people in uncovering who they truly are through the healing.
Are you talking about channeling Erik, the blog and all that? Or are you talking about this scalar energy?
Both.
Well, what do you think about the scalar energy stuff?
Scalar energy is the harnessing of universal energy, but there's specific frequencies that will aid and assist in the healing of the individual.
That's true.
The individual, however, is still responsible for their thoughts, feelings, belief systems, and for learning to quiet their mind.
That is exactly what I've been told and have been trying to profess for a while. All right. Do you have any other questions? Erik, do you have a question for Osho? Osho, do you have any questions of us? And Courtney, do you have any questions for Osho?
I don't know. Courtney's kind of on the side. I don't at the moment. Osho, yeah, he has something to say. Okay. Thank you for listening to my discourse. Continue each day to observe the workings of the enemy of the mind. Quiet, go silent within. In the meditation, you will become the happy child you once were. You will observe flowers blooming around you. These flowers are your consciousness. Pay attention, and you will begin to observe flowers blooming in your life.
That's
Thank you.
beautiful. Okay, so what's the best thing for us to do? Go on YouTube and look at some of your meditations, get your books, all the above. What do you recommend?
First, learn to meditate. So that's just number one. Even if you do nothing else, even if you don't read a word, if you learn to meditate, that's what you will learn to be present in each now.
Okay.
That's one. He does show me his books as being a valuable resource and tool.
Okay.
And also, I think there's like you can Google maybe some lectures.
Okay. All right.
And you can hear him speak and you will understand more.
All right. Thank you so much.
He also says you can call him for assistance.
Oh, good. All right. Thank you for that. And thank you, Erik, for bringing Osho in. Thank you.
Says you're
Courtney
welcome.
needs a break from all of this, I guess. But anyway,
It's okay.
you guys check out Courtney at CourtneyDillon.com. Awesome
Thank you.
healer, obviously medium, medical intuitive, everything. She's the whole ball of wax, cutting ancestral DNA right and left. And what else you want to add to that? Anything?
I think that covers it. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You bet. All right. Bye, everyone.